Well, today's episode is going to be a bit more funner. Now, as you know, this past Friday we had Impact Wrestling against a lot. As you know, the thing of the topic of that title is very, very interesting. As you know, everybody has the stack against them. For example, Alex Shelley is going to be seeing Steve Macklin for the Impact World title, a title he has never held before. Can he beat the odds? That's a good question. And we got other things that took place on Against All Odds. We even got ChocoPro 315 with 3 matches. We have 2 tag team matches and a 3-way match, I believe. So we'll be going through all of that. And of course, we got the latest tour of New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Road. We're going to be seeing what's going to be taking place from then on. We also got a couple of news updates to share. What's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events are being taking place, who's being booked, what matches are being set, the whole enchilada. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, let's begin with Impact Wrestling Against All Odds. Let's start out with the 2 kickoff matches on the countdown to Against All Odds. Our first match, we have Kylan King along with her tag partner, member of the Coven. We got Taylor Wilde by her side. Their opponent is someone from the Ohio area, since, of course, Impact Wrestling is in Ohio. We have Nevaeh, who we haven't seen for quite some time. It's great to see her. Now, you probably thought in your minds that this match would have been in her favor since it's her hometown. No, it was Kylan King who picked up the victory with the King's Hurts or something, whatever they call it, and giving her the win. Now, before the next off of the kickoff match, we have Santino Marella showing up for the next match because this one is too important. It's, of course, is the Impact Digital Media Championship. Joe Hendry defends it against Dirty Dango. Now, you know how this whole thing between them began. Dirty Dango turned out to be the guy who attacked Santino Marella. Even Joe Hendry kind of suspected it in some capacity. But the last time they fought, it ended in disqualification. But Santino Marella decided to give this match another helping hand. But however, much of this match, Dirty Dango was distracted with the presence of Santino. Santino told him, pay attention to what you're doing in the ring, and that's what happened. But it was the standing ovation that put Dirty Dango away and Joe Hendry to retain the Digital Media Championship. So, I think that's it for our kickoff. So let's move on to our main event. Now, we have the battle of who is the true locker room leader. We have Frankie Kazarian, who's been the veteran of the Impact Wrestling family for a long time, when it was TNA, facing off Eddie Edwards, who he thinks he's the true locker room leader due to the fact of his poor choices that he made. Now, you probably know that this particular match was an X factor in this one. Of course, Alicia, his wife, was going to help her hubby out, the ride or die. But however, like any other match, she got caught with her hand in a cookie jar, and the referee told her, take a hike. So basically, that's what happened. But basically, Eddie Edwards was no slouch. He knew that somehow he's going to apply the chicken wing, but in this case, it was, of course, a very interesting pinfall by Frankie Kazarian that picked up the win. Basically, Edwards' play was no slouch either, so Frankie picked up the win. Now, during our interview, the obvious question we have in the 8-4-1 match, we have Nick Aldis, Heath, Jonathan Gresham, and Bully Ray in one team. Now, they have to get along because they know that they have to be facing they will have to end up at being at the end to see who's going to win to become the number one contender for the Impact World Championship. Now, our next match is the Impact World Tag Team titles. We got the Good Hands, Jason Hodge and John Skyler, along with Brian Myers. Now, keep in mind, the Good Hand has already have some matches won thanks to the interference of Brian Myers. But the obvious question does remain: will ABC, Chris Bay, and Ace Austin can overcome those odds? That's always been a good standout question. But however, this match really was pretty good. However, they were able to overcome every obstacle that they did, but somehow they did a brand new version of the 2-1-3. Apparently, Ace Austin elevated well, who was it? Skyler? Yes. No, Hotch into the Art of Finesse, and then finally, um, then a 1-2 sweep that would end with the fold. That kind of went great. It was a great match. They even retained the title. So this got to be a huge disappointing for Myers and the Good Hands, but we'll see what happens down the line. Now our next interview, Trinity, we have Gia conducting with Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo. Now they know that they have to focus on this match against Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. But as soon as they get close to Anniversary, all bets are off. So we'll see what happens, how they coexist. Even they know that completely. Now our next match is a dark color match. Now this match happened after Masha Slamovich defeated Killer Kelly, and Killer Kelly did not take this too kindly. So they became into a brawl all the way from the back. This was a much brutal match that you couldn't imagine. You probably think this is where, of course, Killer Kelly will enjoy the beatdown, the mayhem that she was causing. But no, it was the snowplow that put away Killer Kelly, allowing for Masha Slamovich to win. However, Masha gave the respect to Killer Kelly. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of interesting how that turned out. Now, our next match is the X Division Championship. As you know, the last time during Under Siege, Trey Miguel spray painted, of course, hit in order to pick up the win. However, the obvious question does tell: can history repeat itself in this match? Well, it kind of did, but somehow Chris Sabin is determined to become a 9-time X Division champion. That's always been what his goal was. It do nothing to stop him, but every move that he did to counter Trey Miguel worked in his favor until he finally applied the cradle shot, and boom, that makes him our 9-time X Division champion. So we'll see what happens when we get to Alex Shelley in his match. Now, our next match is the 8-4-1 match for the number one contendership for the Impact World title. Now, team number one, we have Moose, Rich Swann, PCO, and Mike Bailey. They take on Bully Ray, Nick Aldis, Jonathan Gresham, and Heath. Now, this was one of those matches where it's going to be very interesting. So, who's going to be hungry to get involved? Well, in this case, it was, of course, Moose who accidentally speared Swann but got pinned by all this in order to proceed. And then, of course, it was every man for themselves. Bully Ray, Gresham, Heath, and all this. However, during a moment, we did see Scott D'Amore, who has unfinished business with Bully Ray after what happened last time. He whacked him with the chair, and of course, this match became so chaotic. It went into, of course, Nick Aldis applying the Texas Cloverleaf onto Heath, forcing him to tap out. Now he becomes the number one contender. But we do know he will be watching who walks out between Macklin and Shelley. Now, our next interview we have, of course, is with Macklin. Now, he is 100% confident that he will walk out as the champion due to the fact of his knowing that Alex Shelley is way too comfortable. But however, we'll see when we get there, when we get to the main event. Now, our next match, we have Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo taking on Savannah Evans and Giselle Shaw. Now, Giselle Shaw is the kind of person who will not tolerate someone stealing her spotlight. I have to say Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo got along great. However, there was a moment where, of course, Jade Vidal got involved, leaving Deonna Purrazzo to do things on her own, which she did until she applied a Magistral onto Evans, and boom, it kind of went into that. However, it became a 3-on-1 beatdown until Trinity decided to help Deonna Purrazzo, knowing that she needs to be 100% because they know both women have to be at their A game for this important title match. So we'll see how it goes from here on out. Now our next match is a semi-main event. We have an Ohio street fight. We have the Design, Diener, Khan, Angels taking on OVE, Ohio versus Everything. Sammy Callahan, Jake Chris, and the monster Madman Fulton. You probably thought this match was going to be a much brutal match. I have to say, what a brutal match. Not to mention, Alan Angels was distracted with not seeing that Chris was waiting for him until he applied a cutter. And of course, we saw the two big men, Fulton and Khan, went right through the stage right there, leaving Sammy Callahan all by himself to deal with Diener and Angels. But however, Diener accidentally misfired and hit Alan Angels, giving us Diener the last moment where he got himself annihilated until he was put in the Cactus Driver 97 and on barbed wires. Sammy picked up the win. He went to check on Jake and Fulton, knowing that everybody leaves together. So that's pretty cool it is. But the obvious question does tell, is this finally over between them? Well, we'll see what happens at this coming Thursday for Impact. Now our main event is the Impact World Championship. I have to say, another brutal match. I have to say Shelley had to put up everything possible. Now Macklin was well prepared what Shelley was about to do. Not to mention, Macklin left open an exposed turnbuckle, but it backfired on him twice. But it did allow for Shelley, as soon as he realized what happened, that gave him time to do the shell shock, not once, but twice, in order to put away Macklin to become our brand new Impact Wrestling World Champion. This is his first time winning this title. We know he's been X Division Tag Team Champion. What a great match. So he was the generational wrestler, now the face of the company. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm sure he'll be well prepared, knowing he has Target on his back. But right now, as soon as he won, he now has to contempt with Nick Aldis as his #1 contender. We'll see what happens on Thursday. So I think that's pretty much it for Impact Wrestling. I believe it's time for ChocoPro. Okay, ChocoPro 315, I believe. Of course, Malinaki opened up the show as always, giving the announcement what matches are taking place. Now, once again, we have another exhibition match, this time with not Nonoka, who is the new trainee, facing off Mei Shruga. Now, this was a bit more aggressive than you anticipate. Nonoka was really trying to be like that the last time during Mei Shruga's 5th anniversary. However, like last time, the match ended in a time limit draw. But she seems like she's trying to get the hang of it, but the problem is she doesn't have the necessary experience just yet. Sooner or later, she will lose a match, but she'll be facing the much experienced wrestlers once she gets there. Now, our first match, we have singles action. We have Sayaka taking on Masahiro Takanashi. Now, I often talked about Sayaka, how she have grown so much, but this match, oh my goodness, she really has gone more aggressive. She even took this fight with Masa right outside through the window. I never seen her this way before, but wow. I have to say she really has improved a whole lot. Now she hasn't won the much bigger matches, but she has won the matches that are here and there. I think that's one of the things that are rather important. But one thing that was surprising is how she really stand up against someone like Masa. However, Masa got away with it by applying one of her she had like an object that belonged to her. Apparently, he used that and avenged her to, of course, to pick up the win. However, Sayaka was not too pleased how this match lost, and she actually said something to the referee. I think she was pissed. So I don't know exactly how pissed she is, but she'll probably get her revenge against Masa. Now, next match we have, of course, is a three-way match. We have Miya Yotsuba versus Shiko Shikawa versus Mei Suruga. Now, you probably can guess that this match was going to have a 2-on-1 advantage at some point. Of course, Chi and Mei took care of Miya since she is the new girl. But Miya, I've seen her, how much she has grown just a little, just tad bit. She did show a little bit of the aggressive side that she needs to show because she's not facing um, just two veterans. She's facing her teacher and someone who she has faced in the past who's also a veteran. But however, that did not work in her favor since it was Chi who picked up the win by pinning her, and it was over right from there. Now, our next match, we have Sayaka Obi Hiro teaming up with Balinaki to take on our current Asia Dream Tag Team Champions, Shin Suzuki and Chon Shiru. Now, keep in mind, they won these titles by forfeit at the Mei Suruga 5th anniversary, but however, this match was pretty good. I have to say, Chon and Zugi were being more aggressive. They have to held on to their own. However, because of this match, it was of course Chonchido with the gory bomb onto Sayaka that allowed them to pick up the win. If Sayaka and Balinaki picked up the win, they would have had an opportunity for the tag titles, but however, that did not happen. Now, as for our Jonkin tournament, this was a very difficult to predict. Of course, Balinaki was eliminated. Sayaka seemed like she had everything under control until she was eliminated. Mei Suruga was eliminated at the semi-finals. But the one thing, it was cool. It was, of course, Shin Suzuki who won the Jonkin tournament. I was so happy for him. As you know, he is the most happiest person on the planet. But that's how it goes. So that's pretty much it what we have for ChocoPro. I believe it's time for New Japan. Okay, our final review is New Japan with New Japan Road. This is day one. Our opening match is the Young Lions. We got Yuto Nakashima taking on Ichiban's sweet boy, Kosa Fujita. I have to say, this is a pretty good match. Now, keep in mind, Nakashima hasn't forgotten how their jealousy over Kosa Fujita, who is not fought or envious or whatever their problems they had with him since Fujita joined TMDK. I have to say, Fujita has grown so much, learning from Zack Sabre Jr., learning every technique about holds. You probably can guess them all. But, however, he was able to pick up a good victory against Nakashima with a bridge, and then boom, it was done just like that. It was over and picked up the good win. Next up, we have the other young lions, Botlin Oleg and Oscar Lobe taking on GBH, Hamna, and Makabe. Now, this match, you probably can guess that it was going to be GBH that walked out as the victors. What they did, it was a avalanche kokishi by Hamna onto Lobe that picked up the win. Next up, we got House of Torture, Dick Togo, Sho, Yujiro, and Evil taking on Taguchi, Chaos members Toriano, Yo, and Yoshihashi. Now, as you know, like always, when it comes to the House of Torture, they always try to cheat their way through, trying to make ways. However, what's funny is that it was, of course, Yo with the direct drive that picked up the win on Togo. But that wasn't the much funny part. Now, as you know, Sho likes to bring in the wrench to help him win his matches. However, Taguchi decided to shove that wrench right up Sho's ass and twist it. I'm sure he's gonna have like nightmares complaining that his ass is hurting. Well, he deserved it for using that toy. So I don't know what Taguchi was thinking. Even Chaos were looking at him like, "You're out of your dang mind, boy." So that was pretty sweet. Now our next match, this one is a bit of a payback. We have the Bullet Club consisting of Ghetto, Dan Maloney, and Clark Connors taking on United Empire, Heron Henare. TJP and Akira. Now, keep in mind, Akira and TJP have forgotten what Maloney did, turning his back on them. So basically, they were being more aggressive. But in this case, it was Geto who suffered in the hands of the United Empire with the full Nelson lock by Henare. However, that wasn't the end of it. Maloney and Akira got their piece of the payback and sending a direct message that they will be coming for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Now, our next match, we have the Bullet Club War Dogs, Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin, taking on Rohit Oiwa and Hiroki Goto. Now, you probably can guess that this match was going to fall in favor with the Bullet Club War Dogs due to the fact that Rohit Oiwa, who is still a young lion, it plays out pretty well. But it was a pile driver by Coughlin to Oiwa to pick up the win. However, that wasn't the case. Coughlin and Kidd decided to attack Hiroki Goto, but Yoshihashi, who has a responsibility as a commentator, decided to get out and help his tag partner. But however, it was just too much for them, sending a direct message saying that they'll be coming for their tag titles. That's something that we know they have targeted recently. Now, our next match, we have Shota Umino teaming with Tiger Mask and Despy and Narita from Strong Style. They take on Master Wato, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Chaos members Ishii and Okada. So you probably can guess this match. Certain moments are still followed by Shota Umino, who is trying to be the guy to get under the skin of Okada in the past. But in the end of this, it was Ishii with a brainbuster that put away Tiger Mask, giving them the win. So we'll see what happens down the road. Now, our main event, it was an elimination match for a 10-man tag match. We have LIJs consistent of the newest member Yota Tsuji, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito taking on just 5 guys. We're talking about Taka Michinoku, Doiki, Kanemaru, Taichi, and Sanada. Now, there was some, I kind of lost track of what happened in this particular match, but however, Tsuji, he is like a freaking beast in this particular match. He finished off the entire match when he got rid of Doiki, giving them the win. But however, you probably can guess that Tsuji does have the IWGP World title still in mind. Sooner or later, he will go back to that and regain. This is the same thing that happened with Okada when he came back from Excursion. He lost the first time, second time was his charm. So we'll see what happens down the line. And I think that's pretty much it right now with New Japan. Let's move on with some news updates. Okay, welcome to our news update. So this is what we have. Interesting news developed. Luchador Rush, you may know him from AAW, but also worked with AAA. Now it's been announced by various sources, and it's already been confirmed by Rush himself that he is no longer with the company AAA. Now, many people questioned a lot about this one. Now, why would Rush did that? Now, the obvious solution was the reason for his quitting with AAA is the possibilities that he wants to work for the Forbidden Door. Now, he just stated he will work as an independent wrestler as well. Now, last year he was forbidden from appearing at Forbidden Door due to his close ties to AAA. Now, there have been many wrestlers that have been involved. I wouldn't be surprised if but Rush really seems like he did this in order to possibly have the opportunity to work at Forbidden Doors. Now, nothing has been more announced. We only have 2 matches that have been known, but we'll see what happens down the line. Now, this, as you know, the G1 Climax has announced the participations of every competitor. However, the competitors have now been divided in 4 different blocks: A, B, C, and D. Now let's look into all of them. For the A block, we have Sanada, Chase Owens, Hikuleo, Ren Narita, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, Kaito Kiyomiya. B block, Kaguchika Okada, Yoshihashi, Taichi, Kenta, Great Khan, Will Ospreay, Tangaloa, El Fantasma. C block, David Finlay, Tomohiro Ishii, Evil, Tama Tonga, Shingo Takagi, Aaron Henare, Eddie Kingston, Mikey Nichols. D block, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito, Hiroki Goto, um, Zack Sabre Jr., Toru Yano, Jeff Cobb, Shane Hayes, and finally Alex Coughlin. So those are the participation in the blocks where they're going to be in. However, in relation, Pro Wrestling Noah has announced something very interesting. As you know, Kaito Miya is going to participate in the G1. Because of this, he has made Kaito Miya made an announcement that he will not participate in the upcoming N1 victory. Now, those who aren't familiarized with the N1 victory, it's almost similar to the G1. So basically, for whatever reason, he will not participate in this year's N1 victory due to his participation for the G1. So we'll see about that. Now, for all you Tokyoshi Pro Wrestling fans, you may have heard the good news. They have the Up Girls, the pro wrestling group, has announced that they have a new member named Uta. Now, this is a little bit of the background we do know. She was born on March 29th, 2007. Her height is about 156 centimeters. She is from Ishikawa. So basically, we have now 5 members of the Up Girls. Now, I don't know what's the significance of expanding them, but hopefully, I can't wait to see all 5 of them together. Now, we have been seeing the 4 of them, Shino, Miyu Watanabe, Hikaru Noah, and Raku, doing great. I can't wait to see what Uta can do. Certain changes have happened with Prestige Wrestling for the upcoming Black Shine on the 18th of this month of June. It was supposed to be for the West Coast Pro title between Titus Alexander, or the current champion, to take on Leo Rush. However, beyond Prestige control, it was announced that Leo Rush will not be participating, and he was replaced by none other than the Prince of the Pacific Northwest, Nick Wayne. Now, this is a very interesting article that came out by Monty Russo. It was announced that Starlight Kid said that she would like to have a version of the All Together show. Now, because of the success of the All Together took place recently, she wants to have it. Now, I know some of you are saying they should have Tokyoshi Pro Wrestling and Stardom together. Now, I have mentioned time and time again, Shinjiro Takagi did mention that that Tokyoshi Pro Wrestling will serve as it will not be a separate entity from everyone else. But it's still unclear how will this go. If they manage to pull it off, great. We'll see what happens there. Now, sad news for those who are AAW Pro Wrestling fans. If you guys ever been to the Chicago area, they announced that their venue, the show they were supposed to have, has been canceled or postponed, but canceled, and refunds will be due. The reason behind that, the venue that they normally would do their shows has been closed out of business on a very short notice. So they're working hard to find a new location, but they did say that they will have everybody who purchased tickets to their venue, they'll get a refund. Now, Black Label, a final update here. Black Label Pro has announced for their Unplugged show on the 22nd of July. Debuts will be making. We have Guerrera de Briseñas making her debut, TJ Crawford, Ezio Orlandi, and of course Cameron Jackson from Team Ambition. So these are the 4 debuts taking place for Black Label Pro. Can't wait to see what happens. So I think that's pretty much it what we have. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we have more ChocoPro shows. Another show taking place. This one will feature, of course, Chiko Ishikawa versus Hagane Shino her tag team partner from Egtarts, for the Super Asia Championship. This is going to be very interesting to follow. I'm not sure if there's any other events I'm going to be reviewing, but we'll just see what happens till then. I think that's pretty much it for everyone. So I'll see you guys in the upcoming episode. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.